Hey guys, Cam315 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another anime series review for you guys, and that is Aliyah sometimes hides her name in Russian. Hold on a quick second. There we go. Um, yeah, Aliyah hides her feelings in Russian. It's a new show for Summer of Anime 2022. I know I talked a little bit about it on my what I will watch for Summer of Anime 2024 video, but just wanted to give like initial impressions. It seems like it's a cutesy you know, ditzy like funny show slash girl basically teasing our main male character. Again, I don't know if I'll continue to watch the rest of the series or the show. In terms of, well, I'll watch the rest of the show, but like in terms of reviewing it on the channel, I think I kind of just want to give like a first impressions, and we'll see where it goes. And if it continues to get more funny and more good, then I'll continue to review it on the channel. But it's one of those shows where it's like, okay, you have it to where this girl in Alya or Aliyah, or it's probably pronounced um Alya or whatever. Basically, she can speak Russian, and she's friends with this guy that she sits next to in class, and essentially when she kind of is just trying to hide her true feelings in terms of liking this guy, which I would envision, because she says like she's saying these things in Russian, which basically gives the hint at the fact like, okay, no, she really likes this guy more than just a friend. She likes this guy. um and she's just hiding her feelings in Russian. She's saying it in Russian, and essentially we kind of have it to where our main male character, Masachika, um he actually knows the language of Russian. He actually can know, or he actually knows what she's saying. And he plays it off like as if he doesn't know what he's saying, because he's like, "What did you just say?" And she's like, "Oh, I just called you a coward." But in reality, like in the first scene, she started speaking Russian. She called him like a cutie, essentially. And the dude's like, "Why the hell is she calling me a cutie? What the hell is she doing?" And then that's the funny part too. Honestly, I think that's the hilarious charm of the show. Obviously, I think the other reason is Alya, and that moment we had in the episode where you have the thigh moment or the feet moment. But Alya is also to a tsundere-like character. She plays it off, like she doesn't really care about this guy, but she does like this guy. And we kind of do get some backstory on these two, really. We find out like Masachika ended up talking to this girl, or the reason why he knows Russian is in his past, he actually talked to a girl that could actually speak Russian fluently, essentially, and this girl taught him how to speak Russian, or taught him how to basically understand the language of Russian, or Russian speech. And we essentially, funny enough, like you would think like, okay, this would be like maybe an episode, maybe a moment like or two, like where we get this flashback or something. No, in episode 1, we get the flashback, and we find out the Russian girl that he was talking with was actually Alya. The only difference is, and the reason why is she has the same colored eye contacts as she was like a younger kid. The only difference is her hair was blonde, unlike the silver hair she has now. So obviously the dude's not going to remember her, but it's clear that Alya knows who he is because, well, he really hasn't changed, and she probably liked him way back then because we get a moment where she actually kissed him in the past as a kid. So it's clear that Alya has feelings for Masachika, and she just messes with him. She teases him every now and then, albeit being a little bit serious and everything. So, um, it's a cute show. You have a moment where they're eating lunch too, and one of Masachika's friends ends up sitting next to him. You can kind of have it. I guess you can say Alya gets a little bit jealous because it's like, I don't know who this girl is. Well, I talk with this girl, but this girl's sitting next to this guy that I like, essentially. And she's like, oh yeah, he used to be, student vice president in middle school and everything, because she is like she's the what is it? She's a student council treasury. Alya is, and she thinks that Masachika is a lazy dude, but he's pretty outgoing. It's just, I guess he doesn't really care. You do get a funny moment where he like pulls an SSR like from one of these gotcha games, and she takes the phone, and he's like, "Why'd you take my phone?" He's like, "You need to." She's like, "You need to stop playing this shit." And then she looks at the character, and it's funny because I'm looking at the character that he pulled. I'm like, that looks no different from her. And next thing you know, she speaks in Russian. She's like, "This character looks just like me," and he's like, "What?" But then he understood that, and he's like, "What the hell is she talking about?" And she basically implied in that scene, like, "Oh, you really like this character? This character looks like me. Why can't you like me like that?" And then he's just like, "What the hell is wrong with this girl?" But it's funny. I just envision that the rest of this show is gonna have its moments where he's doing something and then she likes it clearly and she just speaks in Russian, or she gets flustered or something, or she shows her tsundere nature and then she says something in Russian. The guy is just reacting to it. Now, I feel like this can kind of get a little bit drawn out too. Like, I understand the appeal and everything, but I feel like this can get drawn out too because it's like, okay, dude, at some point you just gotta man up and just be like, dude, I understand what you're saying. I know you're speaking Russian. What are you saying? I'm like, I know you're saying you think I'm cute. Do you like me or something? Um, Again, I don't know. If it takes like a while to get to it, like, it's wholesome, it's funny, it's cute, it's adorable. I'm not gonna take anything about that. But I can see why some people would be like, all right, is this guy just gonna eventually admit, like, all right, dude, um, you might as well just bring up to her like you can understand her. I can see that happening, but it's cute. It's a nice little show. Obviously, the big moment out of this episode was literally the part where she basically, I wouldn't say forced him, but teased him in terms of calling him a coward, like, oh, you're too afraid to take off my sock because her sock ended up getting drenched walking to school, and she's like, "Well, I got these spare socks in my locker. I bet you won't be able to, put them on for me." And it's like, okay, here we go. So you get that one moment, I think, from the trailers, and even that one moment that's getting passed around by a bunch of different anime like accounts on Twitter about this man putting the sock on her leg. Again, I ain't gonna lie, she's got some thick thighs, and it's funny because even after this conversation, I think he's texting his sister or something or whatever, Masachika, and he's like, I think I'm into legs now. And there's literally like a point in the conversation where he's talking about like thick thighs. I'm just like, this man's a man of culture. He likes him some thighs. Listen, look, listen, I would love if I were to have a girlfriend, and the best thing about her is she has thick thighs. That would be like so cool. That would be one of the best things. But honestly, I like people. I would like a girl for just the character inside of them. But that whole scene was hilarious because this man's like, slowly but surely, he's like, oh please, I'm gonna show her up. And he puts the sock on, but when he finishes up, he basically like, it's basically his hand like grazes her private areas essentially, and she gets flustered. She kicks this guy and she runs away, and basically kind of have a scene where he's running after her. Or at first, you get this funny scene where, okay, he eventually catches up with her, because eventually you would think like, okay, this girl's not gonna talk to him. But she stops. She's like, look, I'm not mad at you, I understand it was an accident. And then this guy's like, well, thank you for giving me the pleasure of seeing, because you do see he does get a glimpse of her underwear. And she's like, wait, you saw my what? And then dude presumably chases her like 10 minutes for 10 minutes just to try to apologize, say, hey, look, I didn't mean it like that. I'm just so sorry. And so and plus, if a girl, one, I don't know how she was running for 10 damn minutes. Holy hell, man. I would be exhausted running for 10 minutes. But the fact that she was willing to be like, fine, it's no big deal, and she goes back to saying her little Russian stuff, man, it's just like, okay, he's a lucky dude. But it's clear that she likes him, just from their past alone. When she'll reveal, like, oh, I was the girl all long ago, well then, who knows? So we'll see. We will see. Again, I don't know if I'll always review this episode, review these episodes on the channel. If it continues to plug me in and I continue to like it, I'll probably talk about it. But man, I don't know if I'll go through the entire season unless something crazy or funny I just feel like I need to talk about. But we'll see. But again, I did like this show. It's cute. Again, it's adorable. It's just a freaking Japanese girl that can speak Russian, that is hiding her feelings because she doesn't want this guy that she likes to understand what she's saying. But in reality, but actually, no. If she knows, like, okay, this is the same dude, he definitely understands me. So maybe, I don't know, maybe at some point there's like a thing where maybe eventually she'll get upset and she'll be like, I know you understand me. I know who you are. I'm the girl that we used to hang out in the playground all the time, and I would teach you how to understand Russian. That could be a very interesting storyline that which would probably more than likely mean that would be closing to the end of the relationship. Because eventually, at some point, even as the girl, even as her, you would think like, okay, she's got to be sick and tired of the fact this guy, she knows, like, okay, you understand what I'm saying. I'll just play it off, but I know you heard what I said because I know I taught you. So we'll see. We will see. We'll see if there's any potential like love threats or potential people or other girls that will throw a love triangle in them. Because she did seem somewhat kind of jealous when that one childhood friend of his was like sitting next to him and talking with him, and I was just like, oh, we're already getting like the love triangle angle episode 1. But she basically says like, yeah, we've known each other since kids. He was in the student. Maybe. It did seem like his childhood friend was somewhat into him too. So that's the thing. I also forgot to mention, like, when the episode first starts off, she's walking in school, and you have this like one dude like hitting on her, and she's like, yeah, no. And she completely turns him down, basically embarrasses him in front of everybody. So it's funny. It's a solid show. I'm not gonna lie. It's a solid show. I really do like it. It's cute. It's adorable. Alya, she's one of the candidates for best girl in this season of anime. So we'll definitely see. But anyways, if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put it in the comment section your thoughts on Alya's hides her feelings in Russian. Do you want me to continue watching the show on a week-to-week basis? And things like that. But till then, guys, catch you guys in the next video. Hit the subscribe button and enjoy your 4th of July. Stay safe out there, everybody. Peace.